Hey everybody, Big Anklevich here, podcaster, author, and carnivore. It is Monday, July 24th, and this is my update for week 8 of the journey to Wonderland using beef, butter, bacon, and eggs carnivore. And this week, changing it up, we're doing a 72-hour fast. You're watching Big Anklevich on health. Okay, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the daily report, so let's go check those out. Hey everybody, it is Monday. I got up and I did my numbers this morning, and my blood sugar was 84, which is, standard. My ketones were at 3.0, which is, that's pretty good. It's 3. It's not above 3, but it's 3. And that made my Dr. Boz ratio a 28. All of those are great numbers, and I'm happy with all of that. Today I have decided that we're going to go ahead and go for the 72-hour fast. So I'm 24 hours, a little more than 24 hours into it already, and doing okay. So I haven't really, I didn't go running or walking or anything this morning, and I'm not eating, so got nothing to show you other than just I'm doing fine. My stomach is grumbling, generally because I eat right around this time each day, and so it'll be nice when that time passes and it stops with the grumbling. So yeah, that is what's going on right now. I'll talk to you more about the fast as I continue it another day tomorrow. Hey everybody, it is Tuesday, and it was a weird day today. Why was it so weird? Well, I was in the middle of my 72-hour fast. I was at like 40-something hours this morning. I got up, I went to take my numbers. My ketones were 2.9, which is right about where they've been all week. And my blood sugar was 55? What? For those of you who don't know the deal with blood sugar, 70 is a low blood sugar. That's like about the floor of where you want to be. Going under 70, that's kind of an issue. Generally, what happens when you get under 70 is you start getting a little dizzy, a little lightheaded. You start feeling weird, and if it keeps going down, you will pass out, and then eventually you will die. So it's not something to mess around with generally, although I've seen a fair amount of carnivores who will do their blood sugar. I think Sean Baker used to do this, where he would take his blood sugar every day and then tell you what his number was. And often he had numbers this low. And he'd say, yeah, it's not a big deal. I feel fine. That'll happen sometimes to carnivores. You just have lower blood sugar. And unless you're feeling, woozy, then you are good. And I was not feeling woozy. I did not feel weird at all. And I know what that feels like because I've had it before. When I first was diagnosed with diabetes, they gave me this medicine called glyburide. And I would take that, and it would make me, I guess, make extra insulin, which would just drain my blood sugar, and it would get really low. And I remember I was working out in the yard, and I would bend over to do something, and when I'd stand up, I'd start going, ooh, like I was going to tip over, and I'm like, what the crap? And I went in, took my blood sugar, and it was down below 70. I don't think it was ever 55, and I didn't know what to do. I felt fine, but I still had 30 more hours of a fast to go, and I was supposed to get on my shoes and go running. I didn't want to pass out on the trail and have somebody with their dog find me just, laying there and have to call 911 and get an ambulance out to save me. And what was going to bring, generally exercising also brings down your blood sugar because you use blood sugar in your muscles. And so I kept thinking, what should I do? And I eventually decided, okay, I feel fine, but I'm gonna end my fast just in case. So I got myself these leftover pork belly chunks that I had, and I warmed those up and had those, and those were good. And after that, I still felt fine. I felt fine before, and I continued to feel fine. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll go out and I'll run. And I went out, and then I thought, well, shoot, maybe I shouldn't run. Maybe I should just walk. I could adjust my schedule so that I run tomorrow, Friday, and Sunday. And that's probably the safe bet. And so now I've not only ended my fast, but I put off my run till tomorrow. And I don't know if it was an issue. I don't know if it was a problem. I don't know why it was 55. I actually grabbed out my other blood sugar checker that I have from all the way back in the day when I was first diagnosed with diabetes. I had one strip left for that one, so I popped it in there and I checked it. And it said, and this was just like 10 minutes after the first one, that my blood sugar was 66. And that was one of the things I was thinking about. Do I need to worry about it? Generally, you get this thing they call the dawn effect. You know, you wake up in the morning and your body tells you it's time to wake up. And one of the ways it does that is it gives you cortisol, which will then cause your liver to make some sugar, get you some sugar to get out into your blood. And you will tend to have a little blood sugar spike first thing in the morning. They call that the dawn effect. So did I get my measurement before the dawn effect hit? I don't know, but it threw my whole week off now because I was doing a 72-hour fast this week, which I should be halfway through. And now instead I'm done fasting, and I'm not going to start a 72-hour fast later in the week. So the 72-hour fast thing is on hold, I guess at least until next week. I don't know. We'll see. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the rest of the week. Do I just do 2 more fasts of 40 hours like I've been doing the last 3 weeks and call that good? Or what do I do? I don't know. But I did have one more meal later. Since I'd finished my fast, I had bacon and eggs, and they were great. And right now, I guess I'm fasting. I'm not going to eat until tomorrow at least. But maybe I'll just do 1 meal a day for the rest of the week. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it. I guess I'll tell you about it tomorrow when I've got it figured out. It is Wednesday, and I got up and I did my numbers like I do every day. And my ketones are at 2.1, and my blood sugar, it's at 88, back like total normal. So I don't know what was going on yesterday. That gives me a Dr. Boz ratio of 41, and which is fine. Not amazing, but not terrible either. So I got up and I did my run. I went out and I ran, and I did pretty well, I would say. I pushed hard, and I was able to get this second fastest thing, medallion, whatever you want to call it, from my run keeper again, because I was a good like 20 or 30 seconds ahead of my last second fastest. So that's good. I still got a long ways to go to get to that time that I got when I went running with my daughter, who dragged me along like a dog on a leash. But maybe I'll get there. It could happen. I don't know. We'll see as the runs gets longer, whether that happens or not. I usually fade as the run progresses. So yeah, the run was good, and I came home and I ate nothing. I decided that I would do alternate day fasting again, since that's what I did the first day of the week instead of a 72-hour fast, which got spoiled. So yeah, I'm fasting now, and I'll eat again tomorrow, and then I'll fast one more time, and then next week for sure I'm gonna do something totally different. 3 weeks in a row can't be good. So we'll have to see how it goes. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting really cold when I'm fasting. I mean, I've been that way, I guess, all along, but today I was that way just at home. So I wore my wool socks and pants, and I brought a flannel shirt to work because it's cold in that building. And I don't want to have to come out and sit in my car in the blazing heat to try and warm up enough that I can handle it. So we'll see how that goes. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hey everybody, it is Thursday, and I got up this morning and I did my numbers, and my ketones were at 2.5, and I fasted all day yesterday. So what was my blood sugar like? Was it 55 again? No, it was 71, which is basically what I've been getting at the end of all of my other fasts. I don't know, I was so much lower last time. But yeah, that gave me a Dr. Boz ratio of 28, which is good. That's the way I like to have it. And yeah, I got up, put on my shoes, and I went on a walk. I walked around the Greenbelt trails, probably about 2 miles of a walk. It was nice. Was relaxing, wasn't too long. I didn't get too sweaty. That came later because I decided when I got home, well, I've been thinking about doing some working out, lifting weights, and I guess today's the day. And so yeah, I went out to the garage and I did, what did I do? I did deadlifts, I did curls, I did bench press, I did wrist curls, I did squats, I did military press, and then I went inside and I did sit-ups and leg lifts. So I went inside so, you know, I could lay on the rug instead of on the dirty old garage floor. Of course, I don't know that I can get away with that, because by the time I went inside, I was so sweaty that I'm gonna make the floor stink horribly if I do that very much. I don't plan on doing it very much though. I'm thinking once a week. I've seen a lot of things talking about how that's like the best way for bodybuilding. You could give your body the time to repair itself and build more muscle. If you're constantly breaking it down, then you don't get as much effect. So I did that. After working out, it was time to end my fast, and I finished out my fast with something like 45 hours, and I finished it off with some bacon and eggs, and that was tasty and wonderful. And then a little while later, I went to make my lunch. I got out my little chub of ground beef, and I was going to start cooking it into hamburger patties, and it smelled funky. And so I decided not to eat that. And I was going to throw it out, but I didn't want to throw it out in the garbage can outside. When it's so hot, it would be like a, you know, a rotted dead body by the time the garbage man finally came. So I put it back in the fridge. I'm going to try and make sure to remember to throw it out on Saturday when the garbage man comes. But yeah, so instead I decided I would just get hamburger patties at McDonald's. They're $1.20 per patty, so I got 6 of them. I wound up only being able to eat 5. I also brought a little bit of butter with me so that I could eat that along with the hamburger patties. And that was good. And I am good and full, and now I'm starting my fast. The last one of this week, and next week I'm not going to do a big long fast. It's going to be 1 meal a day. So it'll be my last one for a little while. So that'll be good. But that's my day. Hey everybody, it is Friday. And I got up, did my numbers this morning. My ketones shot way up today for some reason. I don't know why, but they're 4.9 this morning. I wish I could figure out exactly what triggers that kind of stuff. And maybe it's just not that precise of a science. But yeah, 4.9. I guess I wonder to see what they'll be tomorrow after a full 24 hours more of fasting. Is it going to be higher or lower? I don't know. My blood sugar was 78, which puts me at a Dr. Boz ratio of 15, which I believe is maybe one shy of the lowest I've ever gotten. So that's pretty good. I can't complain about that. After checking my numbers, I got on my shoes and went for a run. And it was a good run. I ran for, well, I was out there for 30 minutes. It was one of those 2 minutes on, 1 minute off things. It's the last time I'll be doing that before I switch over to 5K to 10K stuff, which has different things. But I think I did pretty good. because by the end, when I finished it off, it gave me this little medallion thingy saying that it was my second fastest run. And I was trying to get that. I was working to keep my pace low. Every time it would announce it to me each minute, I'd be like, oh, gotta step it up for this thing. And I managed to keep it low. I was trying to get second fastest, but I didn't realize how close it was, because it looks like it was 14:13 was my fastest, and today I got 14:11. So I made it by 2 seconds. But that's something still. That's good. If I'm able to get second fastest every time, then I'm improving, and that's pretty cool. Maybe I need to bring my daughter with me so she can drag me around like a dog on a leash, and I can get even better times. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm not too sore from having worked out yesterday. A little bit of soreness, but mostly just fine. And my run went well, so that was good times. And yeah, still fasting, and I'm doing all right. You know, stomach grumbling sometimes here and there, but for the most part, no issues, and doing all right. So I'll just keep on going, and I'll talk to you guys more about the fast tomorrow. Hey everybody, it is Saturday, and this morning I got up, I did my numbers, and my ketones were at 2.9, and my blood sugar was at 58. That's right, it was back down low again. But this time around, I was less worried. During the week after having it down before, I looked at some stuff up, and I found a Dr. Boz video in which she talked about having low blood sugar, because she puts her, you know, she does basically what I do. She does her measurements live on her little show. She pricks her finger, beeps them, and then holds them up to the screen. And lots of times she gets ones that are that low. And she talked about how, you know, responded to a bunch of people who were like, what the heck are you doing with, that's dangerous, right? And she was saying, well, you know, it's dangerous if you feel bad. But I'm a fat adapted person who is running on ketones. And so if I don't feel bad, then I'm probably doing fine because I have the energy that I need, unlike a regular person who's running on glucose in their blood. You know, then they would be starving for energy if they had blood sugar levels that low. So I decided that I was going to take her word for it, and then I would just deal with it. Those numbers gave me a Dr. Boz ratio of 20, so I figured I probably ought to mention that. I think the last time when I had low blood sugar, I forgot to even say. But yeah, so that's a good number. 20 is really good. It's one of the best ones I've ever had. I decided I'd still even go for a walk. I put on my shoes, I went out for a walk, and I walked around, and I paid attention to see if I ever felt weird, faint, if I ever felt dizzy, disoriented. Never for a second did I. I don't know if that dawn effect thing ever kicked in and my blood sugar started to shoot up, or if it was just when I got home and I ate. I broke my fast at 43 hours and 25 minutes and 17 seconds. And then I had myself a big plate of bacon and eggs. And I had another thing that I learned and decided to try out today. I was watching Anthony Chafee, who was doing a question and answer for various people. And somebody asked a question about whether it's normal to have diarrhea frequently on Carnivore when you're starting out. And he said, well, and he gave a bunch of different things that could be a cause of it, like coffee and tea can cause you to have problems. You know, but he's like, if you're just eating, you know, meat and water and that's all you're having.
It could be that you're eating more fat, or more particularly rendered fat, like adding tallow or sometimes butter. And, you know, dairy can cause GI issues for some people as well.
And I just thought, oh my gosh, maybe that's my issue, because I put like a ton of butter into my eggs every morning, and then afterwards the bad stuff comes. So I decided this morning I was going to try it out and see if that makes a difference. So I put no butter into my eggs today. And I didn't have any problems. Didn't have any diarrhea issues. So I think I may have finally figured out what my deal is. I got to lay off the butter. I think I can still have some butter, just enough to like grease the pan or whatever, but I don't want to eat a lot of it. Like I would put like half a cube of butter into the pan and cook my eggs into it. And the eggs would soak up all the butter, so it wasn't like they were super greasy, but it's like it's like greasing the chute on the way down is what I was doing, and it was uncomfortable, to tell you the truth. My stomach would do some weird loop-de-loops on me. I just did not enjoy it, and so I'm glad to have that insight so that at the very least it'll be way less frequent. So you learn something every day. That's one of the best things about like these videos, everybody's videos that are out there. I watch them all the time because there's things that we deal with, and everybody has different things. So you're not going to learn something every time, but when you hear, oh, this person had this problem and they did this to deal with it and it worked, maybe I should try that. And you try it and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But, you can't learn what you need to try if you're not hearing other people's experiences. I once had somebody who commented on my show saying, oh yeah, this stuff is just fine for you, but doesn't mean anything to anyone else because we're all different and we all have different experiences. And I just thought, you're a dumbass. Of course it could do something for you. Maybe all of it won't, but some of it, learning from someone else's experience is one of the best way to avoid mistakes in life and to fix problems. So that's why I do these videos. And that's why that dumbass who commented on this thing was wrong. Speaking of being wrong, the next thing that I did this day, for some reason, I don't know why, I don't know how I could put a finger on it. Maybe it's something that I needed. I probably needed it. Or probably not. Probably leftover addiction. But for some reason, this whole week, I have been really craving a hot dog. Yes, a hot dog. Not just any hot dog, because there's some really, really terrible hot dogs out there that taste like nothing. But what I really kind of wanted was one of those big Costco hot dogs. And I thought about buying a pack of them and just having them at home. But they come in such a gigantic pack that I figured I do not need. But I go to Costco every week to get bacon and butter, although I'll probably need less of that, and eggs and stuff. So when I was at Costco today, I just went to their little luncheonette thing and got myself a hot dog. And I even got up there as they were about to put it, to pull it out. And I said, hey, that one's mine. Can I just get it without the bun? She's like, oh, okay. So she just wrapped it up in foil and gave it to me. And I went out to my car and I ate it. And I mean, it was good. I guess it scratched the itch. I don't know why I had the itch, and I probably should not have indulged it, to tell you the truth. But I ate a Costco hot dog, and it was a snack, really, because I had my bacon, and then it was at least an hour later before I had this hot dog, and then it was, 3 hours more before I ate my next meal. So I was even snacking, which is another no-no that I probably shouldn't have done, but I did. So was this a bad thing? We'll have to see if it counts as a problem, because after later on, when it was lunchtime, dinner time, whatever I want to call my meal, that's usually somewhere between lunch and dinner, we fed my kid and his friend who was over here. We gave him some hot dogs. They were sausages. They weren't really hot dogs. They were these like sausages that had hatch chilies in them, etc., etc. And I'd looked at these earlier in the week and thought, maybe I could just eat these as my hot dog instead of the Costco hot dog. And I kept, telling myself no. But I made the hot dogs for the kids. They ate what they could of them. My son left a whole hot dog. He said he wanted two, and then he only ate one. And so there was this whole hot dog there, this whole sausage, not a hot dog really. And I thought, well, I'm going to try it. And so I tried it. I mean, it's just a sausage, so it should be fine, although it had a lot of, I don't know what. I mean, Hatch chilies was really big on the, I mean, it's spices, and most people are cool with spices in carnivore. I try to avoid getting too much into them just because they can cause problems too. I don't think I have any particular issues with them, but you never know what's in them and what they break down into or any of that kind of stuff. I didn't know that I had a particular issue with butter, but it sounds like I did. Anyways, I ate one of those, and it was good. It was a tasty little sausage. And then I thought, geez, what have I done? And then, but the worst part was, I was still hungry, and I thought, okay, well, I basically have started my meal. I better finish my meal. We hadn't gone grocery shopping to the regular grocery store, so the only thing I had was bacon and eggs. I could have made more bacon and eggs, but instead I just thought, well, I'll just take the other two sausages that were left over because they were in a 6-pack, and I will cook those and eat those. So I had 3. You only saw one in the picture. And also, by the way, the picture, you can see the bun and the ketchup and all that stuff. I didn't eat any of that stuff. The ketchup, I don't think even touched the sausage that I ate. That was what was on my son's plate. So that was just took a picture of the sausage before I finished it off. So I ate 2 more of that sausage that you see. And then I was still hungry, and the only thing we had left in the fridge that really resembled something that I could eat was a little bit of a pork chop, a pork loin that my wife had made earlier, just one little slice of it. So I warmed that up in the microwave and I ate that, and it was terrible. It was like old and super dried out, and it was not pleasant, but that was my meal. And I guess I could say I did not eat beef, butter, bacon, and eggs today because the sausage does not count. Pork is probably debatable. It's not really bacon. I think we did, count pork belly as being bacon, but pork chops, I think, they are generally too lean to be included in the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs thing. So all in all, I didn't eat beef, butter, bacon, and eggs today. And I'm curious how bad for me this will be. Will everything crash tomorrow or the next day or whatever? Guess we'll find out. We'll talk about it tomorrow. All right, we've gone on for so long for today. I'm sorry that I talked so much. We'll see you guys later. Hey everybody, it is Sunday, and I got up and did my numbers this morning. My blood sugar was 85 and my ketones were 2.2, which gave me a Dr. Boz ratio of 38. And after that, I got my shoes on and I went out for a run. It was a 35-minute run today, 35 minutes straight. None of that running, then walking, then running, then walking stuff that I've been doing up until now. It was just run the whole time. And that's what I did. I did fine at it. There were times when I was like, oh man, I'm tired. My muscles were just like, no, give us a break. What happened to that walking stuff? But I was so slow. Holy cow. I was getting the fastest times, or second fastest times ever all week long. But not this time, no. Second slowest time. I don't know if they give out an award for that, but yeah, I did not hustle my way. I did, however, get one of those badges things. I got this one for my second longest run. That's something, right? I don't know. But yeah, it was a good run, and now I can get back on schedule after bumping all the days back on Tuesday when I had that weird low blood sugar that turns out wasn't actually all that weird. When I got back, I had myself some breakfast. I made bacon and eggs, and I continued to try the thing where I did not put extra butter in, which made my eggs stick to the pan a lot, especially considering that I got distracted. I started up the pan, turned on the heat on the pan, and then had to go help my son with something. By the time I came back, the pan had been sitting there heating for a while, and it was smoking. And I thought, oh, geez, you're not supposed to do that with a pan, not heat it up really hot with nothing on it. But I dropped my eggs on there and cooked them up, and then they were totally stuck pretty bad on the bottom. But it didn't take too much to get it washed off. I just soaked it in a little bit of water, and it was all right. The eggs and bacon were great, and I didn't have any issues after eating, so this may be the key. I feel like I've cracked the code with this thing, and I can finally feel that great feeling that everybody talks about when they're on carnivore, where everything is humming along instead of having always a stomach going, hey, let's run to the bathroom real fast, go, 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 go. So yeah, that was that. Later, I had, just a few hours later, I had my second meal, and that was a New York strip steak. I took it out to the barbecue, and I cooked it out there, and then I put it on this cutesy little cutting board thing. We got this yesterday at Aldi, because it was on sale. They had it for $4.99, and I've seen people like Laura Spath and stuff, they just use cutting boards as their plates all the time, and I thought that's kind of cool. It's a carnivore thing, right? I don't know, but yeah, we got that. Also, we got that knife, that green knife there. Got a new set of knives because they were also on good sale, and they're so sharp. It's so wonderful to just cut right through the meat. Unfortunately, my wife cut her finger with it the first day that we got it on Saturday, and it was a good cut, so she's got to have a Band-Aid on it all the time for a while before it'll heal up enough that she can go around without a Band-Aid. But it's nice to have sharp knives. I'm excited for that. And that was that. After that meal, I fasted the rest of the day, doing just fine. And we'll see how everything goes. We'll send it over to Big Anklevich for the wrap-up on the week. How did everything turn out? Okay, there you go. So that was the week that was this week. And it was an interesting week. We didn't have a 72-hour fast like I advertised on the thumbnail, because I was thrown for a loop when I saw that blood sugar number. And so I switched it back down to alternate day fasting, and we went the rest of the week like that. And I think I did fine as far as that went. That was good. And I think things went pretty well. I have to wonder just how much that sausage break that I had, the eating of the Hatch chili sausages, did that cause me any issues? So far, no. I'm thinking that I'll be able to just keep going. We shall see. And I'll let you know in next week's video for sure. So, how did this week go? Well, at the end of last week, when I weighed in last time, I weighed in at 273.8. And what did that go to this week? There you go, yeah, down to 271. That's pretty good. That's about the same as last week, slightly less than the week before, but losing about 3 pounds a week, I can definitely go with. So that means that I lost 2.8 pounds this week, which brings my running total to 18.8 pounds. Now, they're not astounding numbers, but they're nothing to sneeze at either. And as I've said in the past, the weight is not the important part. The important part is the health. I've actually really considered just dumping this part of the show. Maybe only doing a once a month thing, or I don't know, maybe just not doing it at all. I don't, it's not what matters. What matters is the health that I have been able to achieve. That's why I've been kind of talking a little bit about non-scale victories that I've had through doing this. Like, for example, I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago back when we went for my anniversary, we went and wound up stopping at Buc-ee's on our road trip that we took. And I got the brisket there. And then on the way back, I wound up doing that again because I love brisket. And Buc-ee's brisket was really good. And so when my wife's sister's family was here just a few weeks ago, we went to Buc-ee's again. I didn't get brisket that time, but my wife found this shirt there, which says fresh brisket on the board, and it's got Buc-ee's on there. And then on the back, it's got this goofy design that says, I wonder if the brisket is thinking about me too. And my wife saw that shirt and she's like, I'm getting this for you. And she's like, what size should I get you? And I said, well, don't get me the size that I am now. Get me a smaller size because I want to be able to wear that in the future when I'm skinnier. Well, the future is here, as you can see. I can wear the shirt. It doesn't fit so tight that I'm like, I can't stand it. You know, it fits well. And that's a non-scale victory. I am smaller than I used to be. I used to need a 2XL, and I believe this one's an XL. I told her to get me just an XL so that I could wear it in the future, and it's already here. I may have only lost 18.8 pounds, but I have changed in size, and I will continue to do so, and I will continue to get more healthy. Okay, here's one more non-scale victory. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to really compare it to, but I've always had really high blood pressure. One time I went to the doctor and they were taking my blood pressure. It was for a totally unrelated thing, but you know, they always take your blood pressure at the start of any appointment. And they took my blood pressure and their eyes widened and they're like, hey, are you okay? Are you feeling really excited or something? Are you nervous? And I was just like, I'm fine. What's going on? Apparently my blood pressure was up to the levels where, you know, I don't know, they were expecting me to have a heart attack or something, blow a aneurysm or whatever. And that's kind of been my deal. Well, I took my blood pressure. We have a little home cuff, and I took it just yesterday just to see what it was at. And it's at 126/79, which is pretty normal. It's maybe slightly high, but I don't even think it's that. It's pretty normal. And I suspect that as the months go by, it'll drop even more. So, you know, this is my health coming back to me. And that is the real purpose behind all of this, is that we want to bring our health back to us in order that we can live a life that's worth living, instead of having to spend all our time at the doctors and being unable to do the things that humans are known for doing. So that is why I do this. Yeah, I lost some weight. Some weeks I don't. Some weeks I barely lose it, you know, and then that's not the issue. As long as I'm doing, eating what I should and keeping up with it, then I'm going to get my health back. There may be weeks where things are, you know, where my body is putting its priorities elsewhere, because the fat on you is not necessarily the most important, the most pressing issue. Your body will heal itself, the most pressing thing first, and then down the list. You know, the to-do list is always like, this thing needs to be fixed now or he will die. This thing soon or he will die. This thing, we can give it some time, you know. Generally, the fat that you lose first is the visceral fat, because that's the dangerous stuff. And then you'll lose the subcutaneous fat when your body gets around to it. So, you know, who knows what the deal is. and what the order is. I used to make goals. Oh, I'm going to lose this much weight this week. But it was a stupid thing to do because I can't control that. There's nothing I can do to make the weight come off or not because I'm not in charge of that. I can, supply the circumstances that should make it come off, but if it doesn't, then that just means that the guy who's really in charge, which is, I don't know, the internal workings of my system, that will do its thing. So that's my message, I guess, for today. This stuff is good for losing weight, but it's not for losing weight. It's for gaining health. And that's why we do carnivore diet, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. That's why we do fasting, to gain back the health that we need to live a happy life. If you want a happy life, give it a shot. All right. Well, normally right now I would toss to Marshall's, his report, but he was unable to get one to me because he is, I believe, on vacation right now. So we'll probably get a longer one next week, and we'll take a look at that and see how he's doing. Hopefully he's keeping it up. As far as I know, he's keeping it up, but once he went on vacation, he kind of dropped off the map. So I know he hasn't been updating his chart. So we'll have to see. Hopefully he did well. Say a prayer for Marshall so that he can make it through. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching Big Anklevich on